I have a very like just normal sized cock. I
Right.
feel very blessed. I've never been worried about my the size of my cock. Whether or not it gets hard, certainly, but never the size.
Bingo.
I hope that helped. Tell him to quit watching porn, and also if he needs a lot of help, tell him to lay down like a plank of wood while you jerk him off for 5 to 10 minutes. And if that doesn't help, he's gay, and tell him to call me. I'll make him come all over.
Tell him
himself.
right in. I got something for his ass.
Well, folks, you know the motherfucking deal. We're back with another episode of the Practical Advice Being Cool for Weird Little Guys. I forget the name of the thing because it's too long of a title. Podcast, everybody. And before I introduce my motherfucking guest here, a little bit of house cleaning. I am one day off of having food poisoning and pissing out of my ass. So if I'm a little off this episode, I don't want to hear a single fucking thing in the comments. We're in the Hawaii shirt today, and just like last week, no, I've never been to Hawaii. So leave me alone in that regard as well. And on that note, everybody, you know the motherfucking deal. We're joined today by an absolutely hysterical comedian, one of my favorite comics in the whole wide world, one of my best pals. He's so funny. Give it up in the studio audience, everybody, for Timothy Smith.
That's not bad.
That ain't bad, right?
That's not bad.
And the rest of the pod's pretty awful, but the intros are great.
I will say the intro, the energy change was crazy. I don't know if you folks know at home, but right before that camera turned on, Tucker was like, I'm going to blow my brains out after this episode. Folks!
I'm a performer. One thing about me, I'm an energy guy.
I do. You love to see it, Tuck. Thank you for having my big fat buns.
Tim, thank you so much for coming on the pod, and I'm going to get right into it because I got plenty of questions for your ass. As we know, this is the Practical Advice for Weird Little Guys podcast, and Tim, the first thing I've got to ask you about is you are indeed in a long-time 12-year relationship.
12 of them.
12 of them things.
12 of them things.
12 of them things.
Keep 12 of them things on me at all times, Tuck.
And you got to tell the boys, how the hell do you get to that point, and what does it take?
Folks, it's incredibly easy. Everybody likes to be like, actually, like my mental health, I actually can't stay in a... All you do, folks, at home, you find somebody you like, and then you be nice to them.
Oh.
And that's like, you do that for an extended period of time, and they might be nice to you back. And
Right.
then you're like, whoops, you were in love.
Right. And do you think maybe along those 12 years there were points where you felt like you wanted to give up but you kept going? Because I think that's something that our generation struggles with.
Well, of course. I mean, there are times where you're like, she hates me. My thing is, I'm always like, she's about to end it.
Yeah.
Anytime I there's like my little undies are on the floor with like a little poop in them, and I'm like, she's gonna end it. She found my skid marked undies again. It's over. And then I go for a long walk and I listen to a bunch of sad songs, and then I come back and I'm like, so what's the deal? And she's like, you're an idiot. You're like the dumbest guy I've ever met.
You're like the poop. You saw the poop.
You saw the doo doo in the little britches, didn't you?
Yeah, that is something as a single man I'm never really exposed to is my own behavior. You know,
It's not cute. It's not cute when you
Yeah.
look at it in a mirror. It's not great, like, at all. Or you just like see this massive mess that you just leave around in someone else's life, and you're like, this is probably not great.
Yeah, I live with men, so if they have a problem with me, it's much less of a like, oh, they're gonna leave me, and much more of a like, hey, dude, what the fuck?
Come on, poop again? Wipe your butt.
You know what I do that really pisses off my roommates that they won't tell me is I work out in the house relentlessly, just like pull-ups and push-ups all day long, just sweating and stinking up the place. And they've never called me on it, but I am kind of waiting for them to be like, hey, can you get a gym membership?
They're kind of subtle. They're like, it's kind of musty in here today. The hell's all this must?
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, that's my pile of disgusting clothes that have been there for 6 months.
Sometimes when I think about getting in a relationship, I'm like, how am I going to do push-ups?
We're about to hit 3 sets of 25.
Yeah, she's going to get annoyed.
With this lady around. Well, I got to grunt and groan for a little while.
And that is the problem I have is I'm so set in my ways that I never let anybody in.
Just be nice to somebody and like try a little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah. When did you meet your girlfriend? Her name is Lizzie, by the way, for the listeners. We could bleep that if we need to, but we love Lizzie.
Oh, Lizzie's all over pods. I talk about her with the young man on our pod all the time.
Yeah.
Where did we meet? We were both.
Tell the story about
we
how
were.
you met.
So we were working at a law firm. We were both still in undergrad, and she was walking around being hot,
Mm-hmm.
and we were both in relationships. And this is when I was like, ooh, I like what this one's up to.
Yeah.
Because, you know, like you see, like she was the girl that like always took care of her shit, and like everyone went to Lizzie when they needed help. If they needed to know how to do something, everybody went to Lizzie. So like she was kind of like the GOAT in the office.
Right.
And then, you know, she just happened to have a real symmetrical face on her, and we love that.
Amen.
We love that. But this is the one that I was like, oh, okay, this one's up to something good. She was wearing this cardigan, and she had like this big piece of tape on the cardigan. And I thought it was like an accident, and I was like, oh, hey, you got a little something right there. And she like took it off, and she goes, nah, huge hole. So she was like, I just taped it shut. And I was like, oh, okay. So you're like weird as hell, too?
That is huge.
That is
That is huge.
You're like the weirdest person I've ever met.
You need a chick who's a little fucking kooky.
Well, it was nice for me because it was like, oh, okay, so like you do take your life seriously, but you don't take yourself too seriously.
Right.
And that's why I was like, I can get on board with that. And I also need somebody like that for me. Because you know the kid. I could stand to take myself a little more seriously. I could try a wee bit harder.
Stand for it.
But it was like, you know, you don't find a hot, hardworking girl that is also like a bit of a goof.
Now, both of you in relationships at the time. How did that unfold?
Well, we were both like, hey, so when we
Right.
got rid of those, I was like, hey, this one stinks. What about yours? And she's like, he kind of stinks too.
Kind of stinks.
I was like, well, what if you and I started smooching? And then, you know.
Wow, I love that move. I'm always so afraid to do that to a girl with a boyfriend. I'm always like, what if she, especially at work, then you're never going to, it's going to be awkward if it's a no.
I think we could both kind of feel like,
Right. Yeah.
you know, you're like laughing a lot, you're talking a lot, nothing inappropriate.
Inappropriate?
We kept it above board.
Right. Yeah.
But, you know, eventually it came to the point where I was like, come on,
Yeah.
let's get rid of that one. I'll get rid of this one.
Now, do you miss being single at all? And the only reason I'm asking is, again, for the boys out there to kind of get some perspective. I'm trying to get some perspective on what it's like to finally find someone who loves you. Every person who comes on here with a girlfriend, I go, talk to me.
Well, that's the thing. We've talked about this is like, you know, some single guys will be like, man, 12 years with one person. And they're like, how do you do it, dude? How on earth do you do that? And I'm looking at you single guys and I'm like, my good man, you're on 4 different apps getting denied by 200 women a week. It's like, how do you do it, Talk?
I'll be honest. I'm starting to wear thin, brother. It's starting to really beat me down.
Like, I'll talk to some of these single guys and they're like, yeah, I was on like 6 coffee dates this week. And I'm like, oh, what? My thing is like, I don't know how on earth. I don't want to get to know anybody again.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah. I don't want to get to know anybody. I don't know anybody.
Like, it's like the worst to try to get to know someone again. Or like I'm like walking out of the bedroom, just dinky, fully out. Like I'm hungover. I'm just kind of, and she's just like, good morning. It's not like, you have to rearrange your shit. It's like, yeah, I can just kind of be a person.
I can't
It's
imagine you being like, yeah, I got a date tonight, fella. Like you and Lizzie break up, and you got to be like, oh man, yeah, I'm new girl from Bumble.
Dude, I would be in a world of hurt.
What was life like before the apps? Because I was around a little bit for it, but I definitely came into my prime when the apps were coming into the picture.
See, Lizzie and I got together before the apps even existed. If you met on the internet 12 years ago, you were a weirdo.
It was like MySpace.
Well, it was like Match.com.
Yeah.
It was the opposite. Like people, if they did meet on Match, they would lie and be like, just say we met in a bar.
Right, yeah.
Like, because you were like, oh, you can't meet anybody in the normal way.
That seems so much better. It seems like how human beings are designed to interact.
I think so. I think these apps are going to ruin everyone's brain.
Yeah, you can't have this many options. I can't be seeing that many beautiful women every day and going, oh, there's hope, and then there's actually none.
And then there's none. And then they're looking at you and they're like, oh, never mind, he's poor. Oh, well, never mind, he's not 6'8". Yeah. Oh, well, no, he doesn't have blue eyes. Like, we got to go back to like fucking on personality. we can't like.
I can't survive on looks.
I mean, we can't. People just saying, "Are you objectively good looking?" Almost no one is objectively good looking.
It's so, and we say this on the pod all the time. Everyone on planet Earth is ugly if you look at them for longer than 3 to 5 seconds.
That is a fact.
There is so many people look like absolute shit, but they just have like a nice body or something. So you stop paying attention.
Nice
for a
body, nice smile. You need like 2 decent features.
Yeah.
And if you've got none of those, then you better be a goofball.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. If you want to pull a baddie, you gotta to pull a baddie, you gotta be A, low-key ugly, and B, you gotta be a goofball.
Dude, they do like them a little ugly.
A little ugly and goofy.
And that's where these apps are killing everyone because they're going, oh, wait, I could just like fuck a hot guy?
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
And you try and I dare you to try and be goofy on an app. These women look at you like, would you shut the fuck up?
Like, I don't know how, like, what do you have like a line? You know, our buddy Matt used to just send his social security number and that like worked a lot.
That's fire.
Do you have like a go-to?
No, I'm so bad at apps. I literally go, hey, what's going on? I'm not into small talk, but would love to grab a drink if you're interested.
What's the success rate on that? That seems like it would work.
About 25 to 30%.
I mean, that's. Ooh.
I mean, think about that, Tim. We're talking 7 rejections a week.
Oh my God.
We're talking 10 shots, 7 rejections.
And that's just, but actually, like 300 batting average, that's Hall of Fame numbers.
I'm saying, if I'm in the MLB, I'm absolutely fucking swinging this.
Yeah. No, the jersey's absolutely getting hung up for the rest of your life. Your grandkids are proud of you.
That's another thing we try and tell the fellas. It's like, boys, getting rejected is like, it's gonna happen way more than it doesn't.
Absolutely. You just got to take that out. Now, if you start hitting 10, 5%, maybe we got to do something. You got to recalibrate somewhere, dude.
Dude, remember back in college, we used to do the thing where like if a chick was if a chick you wanted to like you tried to like grind on someone and you'd have to come up behind them and like see if they'd grind on you. And
my God.
Sometimes women would turn around and look at you and go, "Oh no."
Dude, I had adult braces. I got braces on when I was like,
oh, I forgot about
when I was like about to be 24. And tough look, by the way.
I forget that.
And we were in Vegas for a bachelor party, and I'm having a great time. I'm giggling. Braces are just on display. Rubber bands. I mean, the boys just completely clueless.
What color were the bands?
Purple and gold. I'm an LSU kid.
Go Tigers. LSU kid.
And let me tell you something, Tuck. I hit that grind move completely forgetting I was a 24-year-old with braces. And this girl turned around and like her whole group of friends all shared one of the hardest laughs I've ever seen in my entire life. And I think about that 3 times a week. Like, it wasn't like, oh, he seems nice, but blah, blah. They laughed so hard. Like, why on earth would this fucking guy even come around here? And I was like, you know what? Decent point.
Yeah, it's fair. It's fair, ladies.
Decent point.
Dude, grinding was so I mean, we really just used to put our dick on people's asses that we didn't know and go, shake that thing. I mean, that was awesome.
Dude, the best part was like when you would have those school dances and like the teachers had to be like, look, you can put your dick on them like a little bit, but don't be weird about it.
Yeah.
Like they knew what the deal was. Yeah, these girls gonna shake the tush all over that dinky, and they have to be fine with it.
Dude, and doing it with like kids who have never even felt like a boob before. Now all of a sudden I was so rocked up at these school dances, it was crazy.
Tucker, I mean, literally because you're like, when you're like in that inner circle and you kind of have a buffer of a few different people, and that's when you can really get going. I mean, it was just, I'm absolutely hard as a rock in 8th grade, grinding to T-Pain.
Oh man, those were such beautiful times. I don't think people really that's another thing. I don't think this younger generation like dances like that. Maybe they do. I'm not really going to a lot of school.
I mean, I'm praying to God that they are in there mixing it up because those are some of the best times of your entire life.
Yeah, like you get a little fucking handy or something after some like school party, and you go home and you're like sitting in your bed like, oh my God, I think life rocks.
Oh my God, you're cranking on that memory for the next 3 to 7 years.
Yeah.
Well, that was also like when you would get in there and start mixing it up a little bit, and then like after the dance, you would all go to like that house party after,
with like the crazy mom who let her daughter just get blackout drunk at the house. She's like, just do it here.
Oh my God, and you'd sneak around back and just start making out like your plane is going down, and you're like, life won't get better than this. And if I'm keeping it 1,000, I don't know if it did.
Yeah, I gotta be honest. The more we're talking about it, the more I'm like, holy shit, I think it's the best it's ever been.
Those were the days, dude. And I went to like a Christian private school, and the teachers would like try to be like, keep some space for Jesus in between there. But like I'm standing there with a rock hard dick,
Dinky.
and they're just like, I don't know, have fun. Everybody kind of understands it. That was just fun.
Dude, I fucking came back from my high school spring break, you know, like when you all get like a beach house, like you and all your friends, and you're all just doing like the most debaucherous shit you've ever done in your life. And I grew up incredibly religious, you know, and that was like the first time I ever came outside of myself and was like drinking and like making out with people. Yes. And I came home and I just sat in my room afterwards and I just wept because I was so happy. And my sister,
you're like, hey, God, you're kind of out.
Yeah, that was when I knew. I got like a little bit of pussy, in quotes, there was no real pussy, but my sister came in, she's like, is everything okay? I was like, I've never had that much fun before.
Dude, the high school spring break, I mean, we hit it from 8th grade through college, every year hitting the beach.
Oh my God,
with
that was
the little
unreal,
house.
yeah.
You just run around trying to smooch.
Dude, and it would be like our house, and like every other high school would have like the cool houses, the not so cool houses.
Yep.
And you'd go to these fucking parties, and you're like, for the first time ever, people are like smoking pot and doing Molly. I mean, like 15-year-old kids doing Molly on a beach. Are
absolutely. Everybody's just drinking like warm Smirnoff Ice and some like cherry Sprite. Like you've never even seen these combinations before or after.
I used to think if I was one of these beach owners, I'd be like, get out of my fucking house.
I don't know. I'd be like, come on, make a memory or two.
Right,
Don't
yeah.
break all of my shit, but like make a memory. I was you know, you're staying in the little thing, and we were at this like hotel, and there was this big hot tub, and I'm just absolutely hanging in the hot tub, and all of these girls get in. Their
braces on.
Braces were not on.
Oh, right.
I was 16 at the time,
right.
And like all these like they're all freshmen in college, and they're asking me like, you know, like what's the deal with you? And I'm like, yeah, I'm at my freshman year at Yale, and you know, and they're like, oh my God, are you serious? And I was like, yeah, I'm kind of like I don't like to tell, but I'm like kind of the smart guy of the group, and I got into Yale early, so you know, it's going well, but like I'm back hanging with all my boys, and they were just like so enamored with the smart guy that goes to Yale. So they're like, okay, well, like we have to go to dinner, but like, what's your number? Like, let's hang out at the hot tub again later on the night. And I was like, totally. Like, love to see you ladies again. And so I go tell all of my buddies, I'm like, fellas, I got about 12 ladies hitting the hot tub later. And they're like, oh, hell yeah, let's all go. And I'm like, nah, none of you are invited. It's just for the kid. And so
1v12.
1v.
Guy's planning an orgy at 16. He's like, I think I'm about to fuck all 12 of you.
I'm in the hot tub. They all come back in. They're all pumped. They're going, this is the guy I was telling you about, blah, 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 blah. My buddy comes walking by, and he was like, what's up, Tim? And I was like, hey, what's up, man? I was like, that's one of my high school boys. And he goes, hey, by the way, where is Yale? I was like,
Well, that's absolute fun. That's where you hit Oklahoma. You just hope nobody knows.
Where is it? And you could see them all. It all started to calculate in their brains at different times. And they were all like, oh my God. Like, are you then in college? And I was like, I'm at a college preparatory school. You've never seen girls full speed sprint away from a man faster. I might as well have had braces on.
Well,
it was
what
crazy.
An absolutely disrespectful kid.
You had to salute the boy, though. What a diabolical question.
No, yeah, absolutely no overcoming that.
Shout out to that guy for ruining my life.
No, I do want to dive in a little more on these adult braces, Timmy, because I totally forgot about that. How do you think that affected you at all, or you think that was just, how long did you have those?
About 2 years. I got them off when I was like 25.
Another thing we're big on this pod with is just guys who have overcome and relentless persistence. So tell me about these adult braces.
Guys who have overcome and relentless persistence. The braces I didn't really give a fuck about, because like I was like, my mindset was like, my grill is pretty busted up.
Right.
It's not looking great.
Right.
And the time is gonna pass anyway. Right, so why don't I just hit the braces button and
hit the braces?
And in 2 years, I'll just have like a killer set of teeth, instead of just like having shitty teeth for the next 2 years.
Right.
And then continuing with shitty teeth for the rest of my life.
Right. Okay, that's fair.
That makes sense, right?
Yeah, because that always used to freak me out, because I have terrible teeth, and I was always like,
you don't.
If I really smile.
No, but like they're all together. Like mine were like all spread out, and some of them were like small. I had like kind of buck teeth. They weren't great.
Oh, okay.
And my mom was a little vain, and she was just like, hey.
It's smart. I mean, yeah, your boy has got to be cute.
Gotta be cute. She want to bring me around. I also had horrible acne in high school.
Me too. Same.
Did you take Accutane?
I took Accutane for like literally 2 months, and I went so crazy I came off of it immediately.
Wow.
It, like my face. It would do one of those things like my face was like, you know when you get like all crazy peely. And
Absolutely,
shit?
yeah.
I was like, nah, I can't be living like that. And I just had acne and got no pussy for my entire high school career, except one poor woman, and I won't say her name on this podcast because she does still follow me, and we did not have a nice night together.
Dude, I was out there looking like an absolute dandelion with like how fucking. I mean, seriously, the wind would pick up and it would just be like so much skin would just come flying off of my face. It was disgusting.
Dude, and like that was like back when like a pimple was like, you have a pimple now. It's like, I got one in the middle of my head right now. You know, it's like, but as a child, you get a pimple. It's like the end of the world.
It was horrible. And like, I played basketball and we would have to do like you would like pair up with like a fourth grader and teach them the ropes.
Yeah.
And fourth grade, they are notoriously relentless.
Yeah.
And they would just come up and be like, what's wrong with your face? I was like, it hurt my feelings a lot. You're supposed to like look up to me because I'm like, I get like 6 points a game. You're not into this?
Yeah, I forgot you're on the team.
I'm getting 6 a game with like 8 turnovers. You're not into this? And you're gonna make fun of my fucking acne right now?
Man, yeah, thank God high school's over. It's such a fucking difficult time. Truly made me who I am, and not in a good way. Now, Timmy, my last question before we get into the listener questions here, I want to know a little bit about, because you and Lizzie are engaged. Tell me a little bit about the difference between being an engaged couple and a dating couple, and is there any at all? Or how does it feel?
Absolutely none. I mean, we got engaged when we'd been together for 9 years, and we had lived together for 7.
Yeah.
Nothing at all has changed. She just has a ring that she really likes.
Is it better, or is it just it's totally the same?
It's the exact same thing.
Right.
We lived together. We knew like neither one of us are going anywhere. It's the exact same thing.
Yeah, because I think a lot of men out there are kind of afraid of making that big move. It feels like such a it feels like such a final step but I guess by that point it's like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, but if you're with somebody for 9 years and you're going, I don't know, it's like, well, what do we do? What are we talking about here?
Right, yeah.
But no, it's just find somebody you like and then just be nice. And they'll probably be nice back to you.
And Tim makes it sound so easy. And fellas, I'll have you know, sometimes it ain't that easy.
I will say this, you do have to find that person before you move to New York City.
Yeah, that is so.
You're not going to find them here.
I mean, dating these women out here is just like, I am a decent looking guy who's kind of interesting, and there are 15,000 of me in her DMs at the exact same moment.
Yeah, and some of them have $6 million as their net worth.
And if I was a woman and it's like me or some guy with a lot of money, and I'm like, yeah, pick that fucking guy.
No, you're not going for the guy with potential. That's what you do in your hometown. You don't do that in New York.
That's so true. Potential is the hometown. That really is what drives.
That's the only currency in your hometown. But New York, I mean, find some guy, find some idiot with a trust fund.
Yeah.
And you can just live off of that for the rest of your life.
It really is the dream, folks, if you can find a woman with a little bit of money. That's really my biggest piece of advice on this show ever, is find a woman with a lot of money and then do whatever you want in this cold, dead world.
As my uncle gave me that advice along, he goes, you can love a rich one just like you can love a poor one.
Oh, that's just fire.
And I was like, now that's diabolical. But I do appreciate it. I am going to do the complete opposite of that, but I do appreciate that.
Dude, I see chicks who are gold diggers, and I'm like, yeah, bro.
Sure.
Are you fucking crazy that you have like the most valuable shit in the world? I would be doing the exact same. Mark Davis's girlfriend is this Mark Davis, the owner of the Raiders?
I do now, yeah.
One of the ugliest
redheads.
redheads.
Oh, wait, with the goofy ass haircut?
Yeah, one of the ugliest redheads of all time is dating a 23-year-old just absolute dime piece, because he's a billionaire.
Sure.
And everybody was like, how dare this woman? She got pregnant by him, so he came in her, which is what I always think about when I see pregnant women. I go, oh, someone came in you, which is crazy to think about someone. Anyways. But yeah, shout out to her. Shout out to
all
her.
That to say.
Shout out to her.
Shout out.
I approve of it, man.
It's hard to even argue. That's like Anna Nicole Smith, like literally married a 107-year-old man.
Yeah, it's like for the money.
His skin was like purple
He was
at
in
the
a
time.
wheelchair.
Yeah, he looked horrible. Like at least she found a guy that's like still upright.
Yeah, men will be in like comments on YouTube videos about women and shit. They're like, oh, of course it's gold digging whore. I'm like, brother, you would do the same fucking thing.
Also, they're judging the woman. Like, you don't think this like 68-year-old ugly billionaire, he's not like, I want to date somebody my age. No.
Yeah.
He's going, I want to get the girl that would never even look at me in the eyeballs if I
Yeah.
didn't have 11 zeros in my bank account.
If I got a Billy, you better believe I'm shooting at an absolute dime. And that's why I'm shooting at sixes now, folks, because I got about $38. All right, an incredible interview portion again. We just like to get to know the guest a little bit here, fellas. We got some incredible listener questions this week, and yes, we are running out of them. And again, I say every week, we did have a few write in this week, and if you don't keep writing in, folks, I will start getting these questions off of Reddit. Maybe I even already did.
Uh-oh.
So keep writing in, folks, especially to all the women out there. We do have a couple women who continue to write in every week, and I do appreciate you all profoundly. Shout out to you, Hannah. Now, all right, let's get into this first question here because this is a fucking great one. This guy says, I'm a gold star gay, parentheses, never fucked a woman. I have never, obviously.
Sure.
I have never been attracted to women, but recently I have been considering sleeping with a woman, mostly just out of curiosity. IDK. She knows I am gay and we have communicated about it. Parentheses, we are friends. Anything I should know or any tips I should have beforehand? Thanks. Big fan of the show.
Brother, you're not going to be good at it.
I was going to say, I got a couple tips. Stay far away.
Yeah.
Keep having sex with these fellas.
Just come on. Stay in your lane, my guy. You're not going to love what you're doing. She's not going to love it. Nobody's going to come. You're going to ruin your friendship.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you are actually friends, I don't know if this is like a thing y'all are doing to, I don't really understand why. I guess like just to get to see what the other side is like. But especially her, it's kind of odd that this woman is reaching out to have sex with a man that she knows isn't attracted to her.
Yeah, that's an odd move.
That seems like
I would also say do a little research up front. I don't know if you want to see one of these things for the first time.
Right.
I don't know if you're going to be into what you're seeing.
Maybe I'm thinking also if he's like, maybe he's a little bit bi. You know, a lot of the, we have a lot of bi listeners who've been calling in and going, you know, I am interested, but I'm a little bit afraid. It sounds like you might be a little bit straight as well there, brother. Make absolutely no mistake.
And I'm not judging at all. I mean, the women have a beautiful form. You want to get in there and see what's going on.
My tip for you, my biggest tip for you is that it's a little bit lower than you think. That hole isn't so obvious. You ever do that? Sometimes I just straight up miss the hole.
And you're like, oh, that's right.
I've been having sex for like 15 years.
Yeah, it's like way down here.
Especially when I'm hammered. I'll just
How did I know? Did you do that? And then they like grab your dick and they like put it to where it needs to go. And you're like, shit. Missed it by like 3 inches again.
It's like your wife you've been sleeping with your whole life. She's like, all right.
She's like, come on, dude. I need you to be better at this. I simply need to have it. Yeah, that is actually great advice. It is a little bit lower than you think it is going to be.
Yeah, and there's a butthole right behind it, which is also...
Don't be tempted by that. You're going to want to go butthole.
He sees it. He's like, oh, wait a minute.
Oh, no, I could do this. It's kind of my whole bag.
Yeah, keep your fucking grimy gay hands away from that butt, brother. No disrespect. Unless she asks for it, in which case she might be a little gay in her own right.
But hey, get in there and have fun. Why not? Have a drink or two. Get a marg. Yeah,
I simply can't tell you no because women are absolutely so stunning that does seem like an incredible option to take there. But also, brother, I just see being gay as such an ideal way of life that every week I say the gayest thing you've ever heard on this podcast.
Yeah, that was up there. Yeah.
I'm like, he's like, I want to fuck a woman. I'm like, what, brother?
The hell are you talking about? You're living the dream.
I'm like, and I want to fuck a man. We don't get to have what we want. What the hell are you talking about? Yeah, I don't know. By all means, my guy, women are absolutely stunning. To me, it seems like you have such a perfect life. Being gay seems awesome. You just get rocked up with the homies and come all over each other. The whole dick in the butt thing, again, I'm a little afraid of. But,
Seems painful. But who's got that joke? I mean, you start dating a guy your size, boom, doubled your wardrobe.
Right.
Right?
That's true, yeah.
You're just like, wow, look at all these new clothes I got. This rules.
We're notoriously pro-gay on this pod because the gay homies do always write in and a lot of times asking to see pictures of feet, testicles, and cock. But as long as you listen, fellas, we're all good on that. And
feet, testicles, and cock.
We do have one guy who comments on almost every episode, and he's like, show feet. And we haven't done it yet, but...
That's one I don't understand, the feet.
Me either. Are you ever like, I've gotten like jerked off by feet, but like just for funsies. Just to,
See, I
like,
don't know how that. So does that start like this?
Yeah.
And then does it eventually just turn into a hand job? Does it like start with feet?
when I did, I was just like, let's just try that, see what that's like. And then if it was like after 15 seconds, like, what the fuck are we doing?
Right. That's what I,
It's
yeah.
crazy, you know?
So you're not like a foot guy. Some people like go
No.
absolute nanners for a foot.
I find feet to be kind of grotesque.
Disgusting. They smell
Yeah.
bad. They're in a stinky shoe all day.
Yeah. I will put one like
Toenails?
in my mouth. You put it in your mouth and shit.
Hell no.
Really?
I don't want a foot anywhere near my face or mouth.
Really? I toss a whole foot in my mouth.
A whole foot?
I'll fucking beluga whale that thing. Oh, get the krill shrimp in there and hold it in my mouth. I just like to do shit in bed that makes people go, okay, this guy's kind of nuts.
Oh shit, this guy's like biting me a lot.
Yeah. I just get so bored. You know, if you have enough sex, you're just like, whatever. Can we start putting shit in our mouths or
I do like to
whatever?
bite a piece of meat.
Yeah.
You know, it's like there's just like meat all up in this area, and I just want to like bite it a little
Yeah,
bit.
I do that all the fucking God, I'm getting kind of horny
I
talking
know,
about
holy
this
shit.
shit.
Next
Good.
question.
This also happens every episode. I get so horny in the middle. We gotta stop. Okay, this is actually a great question from a listener. Every now and then I get a question that is so perfect. This woman, and shout out to you ladies again. I'm so thankful for the women that write into this show because I'm so sick of the fellas doing it. No disrespect to the boys. She says, "Hey Tucker, my boyfriend has a lot of trouble coming. Before him, I slept with a few men who also had a similar problem. You said on the last episode that you do too. What's wrong with you guys? LOL." How can I help my boyfriend here? I love him, but it is becoming a serious issue.
Uh-oh, she might be fucking a gay guy too. She just don't know it.
Let me snuck that two in there. I was about to say, I'll tell you what's wrong, babe. Your boyfriend's
No.
not your fucking boyfriend.
And I got bad news for you.
No, you know what it really is I think for me personally, it's I grew up with all kinds of sexual trauma. I was not raped, but I did have a very religious upbringing, etc. Maybe I was raped, who knows? But what it is we're all so fucking clinically addicted to porn that I think I've just desensitized myself so much. If you want to make me come, you got to lay me down like a plank of wood and just jerk me off for like 5 to 10 minutes, and I just have to like really still.
Wait, so are you just too much in your head going, this is guilty, I shouldn't be doing this? Or are you thinking, oh shit, okay, I gotta concentrate on coming, and then you just can't?
No, you know what it is so like we were talking about grinding earlier, right?
Uh-huh.
Like when I would grind on women, I had so much sexual shame about it that I would be like, okay, don't let your boner get too hard here. So that type of thinking, like when I got into sex, it was like, don't come because coming's bad. Because, you know, when I was growing up, I was like always so afraid to jerk off and shit,
Right,
you know?
right.
And so I have this like bizarre, and I've mostly overcome it. Like I still have difficulties here and there, especially if I've been drinking a little. But yeah, a lot of it stems from that and a serious porn addiction that I am currently battling on a daily basis.
I will say this, fellas, just don't look at porn for 3 days. You'll come immediate.
That is so true, yeah.
And you'll be like, you'll go back to being able to jerk off to like a JCPenney catalog.
Yeah, that's so
You don't look
true.
at something insane like porn for literally 3 days, and you will see an ounce of cleavage and be like, I got to get this
Yes.
absolute load out of me. So, hey, maybe ask your boyfriend if he's actually hitting the porn button. He's gonna lie to you,
That's what I
but
was going to say, yeah.
suggest that maybe he tone it down for a week and just see what happens from there.
And then when he says, yeah, I'll do it, he's going to lie. You really got, I mean, these boys are so addicted to porn. We've got a serious problem in this country. And it's not just pornography, it's actually fentanyl, but there's a few other problems as well.
Also, the middle class is being destroyed.
yeah. Your boyfriend can't come because he can't buy a house and he's filled with shame. And he feels like he can't support you.
Sorry, he's in absolutely critical debt, and he can't get that out of his mind. And there's no upward mobility in corporate America anymore, and he's never going to be able to own a home because BlackRock is buying all of them, and that's why he can't come.
And you're on LinkedIn looking at a guy that you think might be able to maybe get a nut out of him.
Ooh, an accounting major from Penn State.
Yeah, I would say your boyfriend probably has a porn problem. As far as what's wrong with all of it, it's sort of a mix of that. We're growing up in a time where we're all on dick pills, watching porn. It's really just a sad time to be an American in this fucking country. I mean, my God.
Also, I think maybe some guys have a little bit of shame. They're looking at porn, then like every guy in porn just has an absolute 14-inch hog.
Right, yeah.
And then you're going, oh shit, does this girl even like my hog? Because I'm not hogging around like these guys.
Right, yeah.
And then you're in your head going, now I got a stinky dinky, and she's talking to her friends
Right.
about it. Oops, I'm not coming. And the middle class is being destroyed? I don't think so.
Not the middle class. Boy, if that ain't the truth. Shout out to the middle class. Would love to be there one day. Yeah, I don't fucking know what to tell you. I've never really cared about. I have a very like just normal sized cock. I
Right.
feel very blessed. I've never been worried about my the size of my cock. Whether or not it gets hard, certainly, but never the size.
Bingo.
I hope that helped. Tell him to quit watching porn, and also if he needs a lot of help, tell him to lay down like a plank of wood while you jerk him off for 5 to 10 minutes. And if that doesn't help, he's gay, and tell him to call me. I'll make him come all over.
Tell him
himself.
right in. I got something for his ass.
I'm always like, why do all the gay guys write in asking to see pictures of my cock, and shouldn't I say shit?
You've literally said like 9 times. You're like, I'm gay and I love dick. So many gay guys write in. I'm kind of baffled by this whole thing.
I don't know what it is. Oh Lord, right? Sorry. It's sort of my only bit that I might be gay.
Oh,
I'm
it's fun.
So totally.
Well, no, you've been using that bit for about a decade now.
Yep,
Tuck.
and guess what? I ain't stopping anytime soon, fellas. Not until it takes me to the top. Sometimes you gotta find your thing and ride it. All right, here's another great one. Hey, fellas, please keep this anonymous, but my girlfriend is getting fat. How do I tell her that it bothers me? I feel like there is no good solution here. My buddies are all like, let's do the let's go to the gym together thing, but I have done that in the past and it never worked. I do really love her, but I feel like this is the beginning of something bad and I'd like to stop it early on.
Boy, you're in a sticky situation here, my guy.
Yeah, that's fucking brutal.
You're in a sticky situation. I think, this might be kind of a crazy theory, but what if he got fat? And then have her be like, hey, man, you're getting fat.
And he goes, yeah, well, that's why I fucking got fat, because you.
Yeah, and then you turn around and you're like, yeah, you want to know who's fat? You. No, but hey, maybe if you get fat, she'll notice and go, hey, oh man, I think we're both falling apart here.
That's actually brilliant.
And you're like, hey, what about a salad? I don't know. Maybe let's re-up this Blink membership. $6 a month.
Or put on like an Austin Powers movie, and when Fat Bastard comes in, go, does he remind me of you at all? Some shit like, sometimes they ask questions where I'm like, this is so far out of my level of expertise.
Right. And hey, sometimes it's just genetics. Sometimes you got to look at what the parents are up to. And if the parents are, pleasantly plump, you might just be in a tough sitch.
Yeah, I was going to say pretty much everybody's going to get fat at some point. He didn't put the ages here, but I would assume you guys, if you're married, I would assume at least like early 30s. That is when people start to get fat.
Starts falling apart.
I don't know what to tell you, brother. Maybe I want to be like, lead by example and lose some fucking weight on your own, but I feel like that you're right. That doesn't. Every time someone's like, just tell them to go to the gym together, that never fucking works.
That's tough. But if you've been together for a while and you're in your 30s, and this is a situation where you're going to be together for a long time, it might just be honest conversation time.
Yeah.
Because if it is flipped, because I've thought about this a lot too. I have a theory, and I don't think my numbers are necessarily correct, but I think you should try to stay within 15% of the weight you were when you got together with this person.
Oh, that's so true.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because this person did agree to fuck only you.
Yeah.
And when you got together, they were attracted to you.
Yeah.
So you can't just put on 80 pounds and then go, why am I not getting fucked anymore?
Yeah, that's so
Well, it's
true.
because you're not who you were. So you got to try to keep it within some sort of realm. But if she had kids and things like that, then that fucks with hormones and everything like that. That's tough.
I was gonna say the having kids thing. It's like if a woman gets fat post kids, it is what it is, brother. It's the wife of or the mother of your children.
Yeah,
but I don't really know, man. That seems tough. You say getting fat. I guess she's like on the way there, which means you've started to notice. I would say, like he said, really just have an honest conversation.
Honest convo time.
Yeah, and that seems brutal. I absolutely could never. But hang in there.
I think your buddies are correct, though. I think you got to say, hey, let's both get back into the gym. We're falling apart here.
Yeah. If you haven't at least tried that, you got to do that again. I have a soft spot for fat people. I don't know how. I don't want to be like, tell her she's fat, because that can be really hard. But that sounds like what you might have to do.
It's a tough one.
God bless, brother. That seems, again, that's out of my pay grade. But sorry, I'm no help whatsoever. Even though it's the whole theme of the show. All right, awesome. I think we got one more here. Oh, no, this is a good one. My wife told me that recently she has become asexual. Instead of seeking therapy, she isn't even seeking counseling. She's offering me a hall pass. This is a bad idea, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, it is. That's gonna ruin everything that you've got together.
She's not asexual, brother. She doesn't want to fuck you.
You're doing something wrong here, friend.
I'm gonna need a photo of you, my guy, because it sounds like you might be getting a little fat in your own right.
I mean, also you almost never hear a woman just like, I don't care.
Yeah.
Go fuck whoever you want. Man.
What the fuck?
I think this is a lady that knows that you probably don't have a lot of options out there. And she's not into it, and she's going, yeah, sure. Go find somebody else that'll fuck you. That'll never happen. Oof, my man.
I mean, that is absolutely brutal. I would rather her be like, if you ever fuck someone, I'll chop your dick
kill
off.
you. I'll kill you with my hands and feet. If Lizzie was ever just straight up like, nah, I don't care. Go do whatever you want.
That would be so embarrassing.
What? That's brother, ruh-roh. Yeah.
Yeah,
I wish we had more information. Do we know how long these people have been together?
That's all we got. No ages, no nothing.
Ooh.
That is tough.
I guess I'm also wondering, what was the sex life before? I mean, when did this? When did this start happening?
I hate to be mean, but I highly doubt she's just become asexual. I kind of refuse to believe that, to be honest. I don't think you become asexual. I think you get tired of the person you're with. Asexual is actually just liberal speak for you're not ugly, you're not hot enough to fuck.
Right. Or I don't know, what your game is like, but I would suggest eating her out ferociously.
Right, yeah.
If you're not doing that, you gotta get these ladies off. Because I think what happens sometimes is they're just going, I don't want, I'm gonna just have this guy hump me for a little bit,
yeah,
and then roll over. You got to try to get her off, my guy. I would imagine you're trying to do that. I would hope so.
And you already know we gave some pussy eating tips, and I believe it was episode 5 or 6. I can't remember which one. Tune into that episode where we really talk about rocking our hips back and forth, et cetera, et cetera. My mom watches this, and may God have mercy on my soul. I'm literally on the internet telling men how to eat pussy like a fucking loser.
Yeah, you got to get in there and really get after it. You just simply must.
Yeah. And as far as your wife goes, I do understand wanting to get her into therapy, but I think couples therapy might be the real cheese there. It sounds like you're kind of blaming her, when in reality, my guy, I think you might also be a part of the problem.
I was about to say, the odds of her needing therapy over you needing to be better in bed
is extreme.
Pretty slim, I would say. Going, she don't want to fuck this?
He's
this Idaho 6? She doesn't want to fuck me, dude? She needs therapy. She doesn't want this dick. What, dude?
Idaho 6. Idaho 6 is a rest of the world, too. My God, an Idaho 6 is the most insulting thing I've ever heard in my life.
This guy's he's 43 years old, looking in the mirror going, she don't want a little piece of this? What?
She never even said asexual. He just blames her. He's like, my wife's asexual.
She's lost her fucking mind. Nah. I would suggest looking inward.
And
my
if
friend.
She actually is asexual, brother, dump that woman because she's a liberal kooky nut job. That shit doesn't exist, and we're so far past that. I'm over the spectrum shit. There's about 3 of these things.
Oh, man. Good luck, though, buddy. Good luck,
man.
You're in a tough sitch.
We are just kind of clowning here. I am kind of dead serious. That does seem tough, and I personally think it's a bad idea, but if you need to go get a hall pass, go ahead and do it. I cannot tell you that that'll work out for you, because it won't.
It won't.
But hey, good luck out there, and God willing. All right, last question here. Another great one. This guy says, Tucker, it's summer. What are we, parentheses, the boys wearing? I feel like it's difficult to dress when it's hot out. Any tips? Where should I go to shop, etc.? For the record, I'm a fat guy. I didn't see that part. That's hilarious.
I'm going to defer to you on this one, Tucker. By the way, I send all of my outfits to Tucker. Hey, is this okay? And every single time I get a resounding, this sucks.
You haven't sent me some stinkers recently. Maybe I'll put those up on the screen. let the people judge. They're not always that bad. It's just always like, what did you fucking just get this out of a bin in your attic? It's like the dirtiest white t-shirt I've ever seen or something. You sent me one the other day. It was like the same. What's that big green thing that it's like a Grimace colored sweatshirt or some shit?
I mean, I pop
Gumby.
it on.
It was a Gumby.
Yeah, it was. No, Gumby's. No, it's Gumby purple. No, that's Barney.
You're right. Yeah.
I put shit on and I go, hey, Lizzie, what do you think of this? And she goes, I don't know. And she goes, I love you, so I think you look cute. And then I send it over to Tucker and he goes, if you wear that outdoors, Not only will I delete you from all of my social accounts, we will never speak again.
But he is right. I mean, the summer's tough, and especially as a fat guy. This is my tip for all fat guys, and I'm dead ass serious here. Don't go bigger. Go smaller with the clothes. Not so tight that you look disgusting, but go fitting. A lot of fat guys, especially in the summer, wear these big ass shirts so that it looks worse. You look worse when you're big and fat wearing a big giant shirt. Get like a button down, and then this is the other tip: chest out. Let the chest
What do you
out.
mean by that? Chest out.
I'm talking 3 buttons down on the shirt.
Oh wow.
I'm talking chest out, fellas. Too many guys are going 1 button down. We're talking 3 buttons down in the summer, and if you're fat, really let that chest out, because you gotta let these women know that you are comfortable being a big fat guy.
There are a lot of ladies out there that do love a chub.
Yeah, dude, if you got
A confident chub?
a confident chub. I
Yeah.
mean, if you got a big fat fucking beer belly, chicks are eating that up right now. And the only way to look ugly as a fat guy is to be meek and sad about it.
Damn.
You gotta let the chest out. Let them know you got a little swagger. I got a couple fat guys I follow on, fat fashion dudes I follow on IG that are unbelievable. Tuck that wife beater into the slacks. Absolutely let it fucking rip. Step outside and show it off a little. The key to being fat is being okay with it.
Man, I was about to give the exact opposite advice. This is how I don't know shit about dressing or fashion or anything. I was about to be like, get a blanket. What you're gonna need is a king size sheet. And then if you just staple that around you and put a bag on your head, you'll be good to go for the entire summer.
You're like, find a tarp and never come out from under it.
Honestly, just order food in and wait till the fucking fall comes.
No, I think fat dudes do not realize the potential they hold, because women do not care about what you look like. I mean, obviously you can't get so rotund that your wife becomes asexual, but you know, fat dudes do just fine. You
They
just
do
gotta fucking,
just fine, dude. You've seen a lot of 10s walking around with a hefty man.
again, everyone is ugly if you look at them for longer than 3 seconds, and everyone's fat if you look at them for longer than 10.
Big facts. Big facts.
So stop caring, brother. That's my advice. I'm talking, if you're especially fat, I'm talking short shorts with the legs out, a button down with the chest out, clothes that fit. But one thing you cannot do is do the classic fat guy move and wear the biggest shirt you own with the baggiest pants you got and think nobody notices. My guy, they notice.
That's some top tier advice.
Yeah, I love fat people. Again, we're pro-fat on this podcast. I'll
Well
never
done.
let you boys down.
Well done.
And that was it for the question portion of the show. Yet another perfectly timed episode. We're about 45 minutes in. Joe Rogan continues to do these 4-hour podcasts. Not here, folks. We
Stinks.
get you in and we get you the
Stinks.
fuck out of here.
Sorry, DL Hughley. I don't want to hear what you have to say for 4 hours.
And we do take shots at DL Hughley on this podcast. Believe that. Another couple straight whites taking down a black man. Tim, you're an absolutely fantastic guest. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me,
fucking
brother.
funny.
This is very fun.
That was such a blast. Give the people, we'll put it all right here. Give the people your website, your socials, etc.
Follow my sweet buns on Instagram. Old Timmy Smith. That's OLE. Timmy Smith on Instagram. I post my little dates on there. I post my little tweets on there.
Great. Tim has a great Twitter.
Put my little stand-up clips up there. We're having a fun time. We're trying to make fun out of this life. So
Incredible. You have a website? What's the
give me
website?
a little follow. Just follow me
follow
on
the guy.
Instagram. You're not gonna do that anyway. So just to the 2 people that might do that.
Yeah, I mean, again, the listeners have been bailing every week, and that's how a podcast goes. So for anyone else who's still watching, if you even are, shout out to all the queers, gays, theys, thems, straights, whites, blacks, Arabs, anyone but the Zionists. We appreciate you guys listening. As normal, thank you so much for tuning in. Free Palestine, and everybody have a wonderful summer and a great day out there. Probably no episode next week because I'm going to fucking blow my head off. But until then, guys, we appreciate you tuning in. Tim, thanks so much.
Thank you, brother.